Welcome, everybody. Episode 5, the Knicks. We come to you talking about the NBA today. We're going to share a little bit more. This is Kevin, my partner, Kenny. How you doing, Kenny?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How's everything going?
Good, man. Good. We got a lot of more subscribers. Thank you guys for all subscribing. Let's keep it going. Please press the like button, too. I'll remind you at the end of the video. But today we're going to be talking about the NBA. A little special segment for you. I know Kenny went all out. So we're gonna be giving you our choices for Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, MVP, all this stuff, and standings and plans. Just follow up with us, and if you don't disagree, if you don't agree, leave your comments in the bottom, and let us know. And let's get started, man. Let's get started. How do
Yeah,
you
I
want to
think.
attack this, Kenny?
I mean, you can go first, or I can go first. I mean,
What topic you want to do first? Do you want to do standings first, or talk about the
no, let's do the standings
yeah
first.
standing? I forget the way you had it
So
last.
there's a game that uh, actually Kevin invented a while back. We did like one through. It was 1 through 8 at the time because play-in wasn't wasn't a thing. So it
Yeah.
was like 1 through 8 of all the teams that made the playoffs in the East and the West. Best record teams, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, MVP, six man, and Most Improved. I think it
Yes.
was right.
Yes.
So and then we used to do like little points category and stuff like that. We used to do it with our friends, and it was pretty much just bragging rights to see who knew, or I should say, who guessed correctly. Right, kind of like a fantasy football, but for basketball on standings. So I guess you can start first, and show us what you got. So we're gonna go through the East and the West,
Yes.
1 through 6, and then the play-in teams. Who we think is going to be top of the West, top of the East, second, third, fourth, and so on.
Okay. Yes. Just to piggyback on what you said, little Daniel plan did not exist since the beginning of time. All right. Paying just started like what, 4 years ago? Something like that. So just to let you know, once upon a time, plan did not exist. Yeah, we're gonna start with the East. I think I saw you start with the East too. I'm gonna have a little chart thing also, but if I put it up, it'll show my West too. So I'll just wait till the end to show my results. For the East, it was tough between two teams for me. Um, Number one was gonna be either the Bucks or Miami for me, and I went with the Bucks. I went with the Bucks first overall.
Interesting.
Um, should I just go down the whole thing?
Yeah, we'll go down the whole
Yeah,
thing.
okay. I did Bucks, Miami, Boston, Philly, Raptors, Nets, Atlanta, Cavs, Bulls, and my Knicks. Knicks at 10th.
I just realized I forgot about the Bulls. Shoot.
So there's a different team we have there. It's a different team we have there. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
totally forgot about the Bulls. Wow.
I
Kind of want
don't
to
know how
make
you.
changes now.
Yeah, no. Too bad here's a PowerPoint. Mine I could have just deleted real quick and done some stuff. I was actually thinking about deleting, switching Miami and Bucks. That's how much I believe in Miami this year, man. I think they're gonna be there. I think Miami's gonna go all the way. But I have the Bucks up there as number one seed. I think they're gonna be a little bit more consistent because Miami tends to let their players heal a little bit, rest. You know, the Kawhi syndrome where they rest like crazy. Should I go to the West and then show my standings?
Yeah.
All right. So for the West, number one team, I'm going Suns again.
Wow.
Number two, I'm going Clippers. Number
Wow.
three, Warriors. Number four, Denver Nuggets. Number five, Minnesota Timberwolves. Number six, Memphis Grizzlies. Number seven, the Pelicans. Number eight, Dallas. Big drop. Number nine, Blazers. And number 10, the Lakers. Isn't that
Wow.
crazy? Knicks in 10th and Lakers in 10th. That's crazy, right?
That
But
is
I do
crazy.
believe in that, man. I mean, this is right now because God forbid the Lakers do a move to move Westbrook and use their picks. It's a whole different team at that point. You don't judge me, guys. If they go and make a big move and they win that trade, you're gonna be like, oh, you said the Lakers. Oh, hold up, time out. Westbrook's on this team right now, and they still
Yeah.
have those picks. Right. So
Yeah.
let me just share my screen real quick. So everyone, let me see if I have it on. Yes. Let me
Yeah.
see.
So this is based off. how the teams are right now as of August 31st.
Correct.
If tomorrow there's a huge trade, obviously everything's going to change. But this is as of right now.
What did I do with it? Where is it?
And
It
also injuries play a huge factor in this too. So this is everyone, assuming everyone's healthy at the.
can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
So see the East. I got the Bucks, Miami, Boston, Philly. Okay, Raptors, Nets, Atlanta, Cavs, Bulls, Knicks. I should have done a little bit bigger. I'm not computer savvy like my boy Ryan, but we'll figure it out. West, I got the Suns, Clippers, the Warriors, Denver, Mini, Memphis, Pelicans, Dallas, Blazers, the Lakers. Before we get into it, I want you to share yours, Kenny. Tell me what you know. Show me yours.
All right.
Let me stop sharing mine.
So yeah, I went a little bit more of the professional route.
Let's see that. Go ahead. Hit us,
Uh,
baby. Hit us. The fans have been waiting.
can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. Look how pretty that is, man. My dad actually texted both of us saying that he needs help on his PowerPoint. Obviously,
Yeah.
Kenny's gonna be the one helping him.
So you might have seen like the results already,
I
but
peeked it.
um, so for the East, the first I have the Celtics. I think they're out to prove everybody that you know they're not a one-hit wonder who made the championship team, and they got a lot of depth now.
Okay,
Even though Gallinari got hurt, but you know,
might be out for
uh,
the year.
yeah, they got Brogdon, so I think that was a huge pickup for them.
Which I want to
Number
talk about
two,
Brogdon later. Go ahead.
number two, I got the Heat.
Okay,
I think with
we
Jimmy
agree.
Butler and that crew, they're gonna do their thing. Three, Sixers. Four, the Bucks. Yep, I think they're gonna take a step back. Uh, not convinced on Middleton, but we'll see.
Okay,
Five, the Nets, unfortunately, just because they have Kevin Durant, only Kevin Durant. Six, the Raptors. All right, so that's the playoffs right there.
okay.
And then the playoff plan. While you were speaking, you reminded me of the Bulls, so I had to make a really quick change.
Did you make it?
So I put the Bulls seventh.
Maybe I should have
Yeah,
waited till after.
I actually took out the Wizards. I had the Wizards on 10th place.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that. If the Bulls
Okay.
didn't exist, I understand that.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I totally forgot about the Bulls. So I put the
So
Bulls
you
in seventh.
forget about the Bulls and you put them seventh. Okay,
Correct. I got the Cavs in eighth,
okay.
the Hawks in ninth. And of course, I have to support the Knicks. I got them in that last spot in the play-in.
Okay. So the 1 through 6, we are exactly alike. Not exactly like, I mean, we have
We
the
got
same
some
6 teams.
differences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some scatter around. I have Celtics 30 of them first, but we have the same 6 teams though,
Correct.
you know.
And
Jose
I
would
actually had the Hawks. I think I
six,
had the Hawks. No, seven,
seventh. Okay.
and the Knicks ninth.
Okay.
So then that means that they would have played each other, I believe, right? That's how the play-in works. Seventh and ninth playing each other.
So what happens is 7 faces 8, winner moves on.
Oh,
Nine,
okay.
9 faces 10 to face the loser of 7 versus 8.
Gotcha.
So if you're 9-10, you have to win 2 games in order to make the playoffs. If you're 7-8, you have to win 1 game. You get 2 opportunities. The home and away thing, I will explain to you guys next time. I just forgot. I'm pretty sure 7 gets home court, and then if let's just say, for example, if 7 loses again, they get home court again. If 8 loses, then 8 gets home court in the next game, something like that. I think that's the way it is, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. So if this exactly goes the way I said it does, then that gives us a redemption to play the Hawks. We lost to them in the playoffs in that first round back in 2021. So now to my West. I got the Grizzlies first.
Okay.
All right. I think
Even with
John
the Jaren
Morant,
Jackson injury.
even with the Jared Jackson injury, I think John Morant is gonna ball like crazy. Um,
Could have been a Nick.
yeah, I got the Nuggets too. I think as long as they stay healthy, they look like a good team.
Okay.
All right. I got the Suns three. I can't put the Suns first. I think Chris Paul is declining every year. I think that team with the whole DeAndre Ayton that they took a while to sign him and stuff like that. There's a little bit of bad blood there. I think they're gonna take a step back. Four, I got the Warriors. Okay. They got depth. They got experience. Five, I got the Lakers. I think LeBron was embarrassed last year for not making it. So, and then AD, as long as he stays healthy, those two they play pretty well together. So, I think they'll be fifth place. Last one, I got the T Wolves. Gotta support the T Wolves. They made a huge move. If they don't make that sixth spot, it's pretty much a failure for them. Uh, Seventh, I got the Clippers. All right. So I know you had them number two, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was a huge stretch. I don't
All
believe
right.
in the Clippers, but we'll see what happens. Eighth, I got the Pelicans. I'm a big believer in that team. I actually had the Pelicans top six at one point, but then as I kept thinking about it, I kept pushing them down. Nine, I got Blazers. And the last one, I got the
Ooh,
Mavs. I think the Mavs are going to drop. The
that's a
funny
pipe
thing
dream.
is, I
I love
think
it.
Luka Doncic is going to have a huge year, but
I agree. I
they're just
agree.
not going to be a great team overall.
I agree. I agree on that. Let me ask you a couple questions before we move on to the other stuff. Let's go back to the East for a second. We will handle the West. We both agreed exactly the 1 through 6 teams. Not the same order, but tell me about this Raptors. Why do we both think that the Raptors are going to make it to 1 through 6? Tell me a little bit more about them. What makes them a playoff team that we both agree on that?
They have the experience.
Sure.
Fred Van Vliet is a good like floor general. He's not great athletically, and it's not going to wow you, but he just knows how to kind of bring that team together.
Mhm.
These are guys that have been playing with each other for a while. But that's kind of the Raptors, right? They're kind of just that. I wouldn't say mediocre team, but just that kind of mediocre team, that middle team that's always going to be too good for the lottery, but never good enough to advance far in the playoffs, right? I think their ceiling is probably the second round, and that depends on who they play in the first round. Um, and Siakam, he's a great player. He can shoot the ball. He's I believe 6'9". Can cover 1 through 4, 1 through 5. Um, I think what's his name? Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
It's going to be the X factor, right? Is he
Mhm.
going to take that extra step and that superstar level? Is he going to play like how he played, or is he going to
Who does
take
he
a
remind
step
you
back?
of? Who does he remind you of?
Low
Players.
man Giannis,
Wow.
a
I
poor
think so
man
too.
Giannis.
I see him as a Giannis, Draymond Green type.
Yeah,
Can't shoot, but what a defensive player. Can pass too.
yeah.
But honestly, between the three of them, he might have the potential to shoot better than the other two. But we never know. We'll see. And then the other question is the play in. So we both agree in the Knicks in 10th. I mean, before you made your little switch. Um,
I
but
had them in ninth.
tell me about this Bulls, Cavs, and Hawks. So we both have the same thing, not the same order. I have Atlanta on top, I have Cavs in the middle, and I have Bulls at ninth. Tell me about them. What's gonna separate them? Can any of them make the top 6? Is any of them gonna drop out? What makes them different if they're so bunched so quickly?
Um,
So, together, I mean.
Besides the Hawks, none of them really have that player that can really elevate them to the next level. Um, the Hawks have Trey Young, but you really have to rely on Trey Young a lot. And is that duo going to work together, right? Trey Young and DeJounte Murray. It still remains to be seen. They gave up. They traded away.
About 3 picks, two
Well,
unprotected.
yeah, no, I thought all three were unprotected, I believe, but I'm not 100%
They
sure.
gave up a
But they
pick
gave
that
up that
wasn't
backup,
theirs.
the shooting guard to the Kings. Um,
Kevin Huter.
yes,
How
which
you gonna forget? How you gonna forget a Kevin, bro?
I thought that was a big mistake on their end. I didn't think that they got anything.
A first round
Um,
pick.
yeah, I didn't think they got anything that I would have stuck with him. I thought he was a solid backup guy who can shoot, who can put the ball on the floor. Decent playmaker. Those are the type of guys that you want on your team. So I think that hurts them a little bit. Um, but and then the Knicks, I it really depends on what's Randall going to be like, and is RJ going to provide that next step? Scoring 22 points or more a game. Um, and then the Bulls, I mean, they're a great offensive team, but defensively, they do not look good. I mean, I know they added Andre Drummond, so I thought that was a good pickup on them. But is DeMar DeRozan going to play how he played last year? Zach Levine going to stay healthy? Are those two going to complement each other? Uh, you know, so I just think that the top six for the East are pretty much
That's
proven, stamped.
okay.
That they're
Yeah.
going to be playoff team.
So I like to say this phrase that usually you see how our standings are. One team out of this top 10 will fall off, and one team from the bottom usually goes up. It's a surprise team that makes it. Could it be the Wizards, like you mentioned? Could it be the Hornets? Doubtful. You know, don't. Could it be the Pistons? I know you love the Pistons. A lot
Yeah,
of talent, but very young. Can one of those teams sneak up? Can one of these Raptors, Nets, Bucks, go down? Sixers, never know. That's the
I'm a
big question marks.
I'm a big believer in Cade Cunningham, even though Jose don't like him.
Don't like,
But
yeah, Jose don't like. He don't know. Tú no sabe, Jose. But yeah, you're right. Let's talk about this West. Let's go to the West because we can stay here talk about every team and just go on forever. We love sports. The West. I think we're pretty similar, man. I have Lakers at 10. You have them at 5th, and that's about it. I think everything else is exactly the same. I
yeah, I don't think there's going to be any like really surprise teams from the West. The Spurs are pretty much going to be a really upper lottery team. Rockets too. Thunder. I don't know who else am I missing? The Jazz as well. Even if they retain Donovan Mitchell, you know.
Yeah, the bad teams are bad. I've noticed
Yeah,
that in the NBA this year. The bad teams are bad and the good teams are good. And it's almost like settled already walking into the year. I don't like that, to be honest. Is there anybody in the West that can sneak into here? I'm looking at your background because you have all the teams.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to look
Oh, the
too.
Kings, the
The
Kings,
Kings, yeah.
the Kings. They're committed to making it. It would be a damn shame if they don't
Yeah.
after investing all that stuff. But tell me about this Mavs in 10th place. Why do you think it's gonna happen? Because you said I think Luka's gonna have a monster year. Do you think he's gonna have a better year than last year?
Yeah.
So what makes them
And
10?
um I think he's really the only one that's going to make help them win games, right? But he's not going to be enough to elevate them into that top six. Just because defensively, I think they're not good. Um, and then you just don't have that second scorer slash playmaker. Who are you going to rely on? Christian Wood. Um,
Can't
you
create
know,
for himself. I mean, can't create for others. Maybe a little bit for
he's
himself, but no.
he's
Your second playmaker is probably Dinwiddie, and
right, but
I don't
that's
know a
also
lot.
not great, you
Yeah,
know.
the Brunson really hurts.
But in order for Dinwiddie to be effective, he needs to have the ball in his hand, you know?
It's not a good spot up shooter either.
Exactly. So it's like you're not going to take away the ball from Luca, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't see them winning too many games. I think they'll make the plan. Could they make a playoff spot after the plan? Yeah, because it's just one game, but you know, and I hope they do drop down that low.
For our sake, yes. I if people are wondering why is Kevin and Kenny saying that, the Knicks own the 2023 top 10 protected pick of the Dallas Mavericks. If it ends up top 10, it gets carried over to next year, 2024. So we want them to finish 11th worst record in NBA. That's the goal. That would be a steal. It's already a steal trade if you think about it. They ended up trading Porzingis for Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, which is arguably the worst contract in all of the NBA. So arguably they gave up, was it 2 first round picks? Yeah, 2 first round picks. They ate up $40 million in salary, and they gave us a garbage player in Dennis Smith, who was supposed to be, the young kid in that trade for. So they gave up those 2 picks for Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. So that ended up such a bad trade. But sometimes it looks on the moment it looks like you're winning the trade, And sometimes it doesn't happen that way, man. It's just the way it is. A couple more questions. I like what you said about the Pelicans, and I agree with you. I wanted to put them in the top six, and the reason why I didn't is because they just find a way to not win games at times and lower their standards and not put it together and not stay healthy. But the team, talent wise, is on paper unbelievable. Tell me about the Pelicans. Talk to me about them.
Um, you know, sometimes there is a thing called too much depth, right? And I think the Pelicans are a team that has too much depth. Um, you know, with McCollum and Ingram and Zion Williamson, they're going to be eating those minutes a lot. Um, those guys are going to be playing like 32 to 36 minutes a game, on any given night. And they got solid players like Trey Murphy and I forgot their other wing player that they have. Um, so it's kind of like, where are you going to fit all these guys? And are they going to have enough playing time to be able to really be effective and kind of showcase their skills and stuff like that? And then the other second factor is, can Zion stay healthy, right? Uh, guy has not played a full year in his whole career. So that's a big X factor.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, unbelievable score, unbelievable numbers. I would love to have him in the Knicks, but he is their X factor. You know, he can elevate them immensely, or he can bring them down. And now you're paying him top dollar. You're paying him top dollar max. So that is what it is. I think we're good with this, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else? I like how you said about Minnesota that they put all their eggs in this year, and they better come through.
Yeah, they got to make that playoff spot. Not anything short of that is a failure.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the players now. We're gonna start with the MVP. I think we're both gonna agree on this. We both hinted. I'll let you answer that one. Go ahead, Kenny.
I put Luka Doncic. I said that he's going to have an unbelievable year. He's going to be putting like 30 plus points a game, probably like almost 8 assists, 9 assists a game.
Gonna have to.
Yeah. And it's so sad because he's going to be unbelievable, and the team record is just not going to be good. It's going to be like when James Harden kind of won it, right, with the Rockets, just balled out, and the team was like, yeah, you know. But so you got Luka Doncic as well.
Yes, I forgot about him for a second, and I thought about putting Giannis over Jokic. And the reason why I didn't want to put Jokic is because Jamal Murray and Michael Porter are coming back, and I said, you know what, he's going to have to share the ball a little bit more. It's not going to be carried all by him. But then I was like, oh wait, Luka, no, 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 you just lost your second best player. And then I saw something before that he was working out immediately after the season finished, and I love that, man. That intensity, that fire, that want to be better. That I always say, you don't win championships on the NBA court, you win them in practice. How much time you dedicate will show on the court. So when a guy's not hitting his jumper, you know, it's because you're not putting in the time, bro. You're not putting the time. One game you can have, 2 games back. Okay, I understand. A bad week, okay. But if a whole season you're not shooting right, you're not putting that time. You're not shooting those free throws, you're not putting that time, you know? So I saw that he puts the time. He loves the game, and he's just gonna be a beast, man. He's gonna have so many assists and so many points. He's gonna lead the league in probably points scored and minutes. I think, man. He's gonna have the best plus minus in the NBA. I think. All right, let's go to second one. What's the next one? What do you want to do?
Uh, best record team. Who do you got?
Best record team. Jesus Christ, man. I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I was like, who am I gonna pick?
You know what's funny about this? At first, I put a team that I had on second place, the Nuggets, and I was like, wait, that can't be possible. You
I
know,
actually had the Nuggets as one of them. Yeah, I know. They can't be possible. Okay. So it has to be for me the Bucks or the Suns. And for you, it has to be you had first Miami.
No,
No,
Grizzlies or
Grizzlies.
Celtics.
The Celtics. Okay. So you probably had the Celtics.
I don't.
Oh yeah, you had Memphis. You think
I
Memphis?
have Memphis. Yeah, I think Memphis is going to be like almost maybe a 60 game winning team, if not more.
Okay. I don't know if 60 is gonna win you the best record though. Um, I am gonna pick the Bucks. I know you're
Uh,
not crazy about them, but I'm gonna pick the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I just think I don't know. It was between the Bucks and Miami in the East, and in the West I had I wrote four teams: Suns, Golden State, Denver, and Clippers. But the Clippers all depends to me on Kawhi, how he comes back and he plays all year. I think they have arguably one of the best teams. But I'm gonna go Bucks. I'm gonna go Bucks. All right, next one we're gonna do. What do you want to do now? Coach of the year.
yeah, I got. Of course, if you got the best record, it's got to go to Taylor Jenkins. You
Okay,
know.
okay, that makes sense. I have the, the Clippers coach, Tyrone Lue.
Okay.
I think they're gonna win so many games more. They're gonna be a top two, three teams in the West. So, and I think he's just gonna have I think they're gonna have the number one defense in the NBA.
I'm not a big believer in Paul George. You know how I am with Paul George. I think
Why
he
Paul?
just. I'm not crazy about him.
He's not their alpha though.
I understand that, but Kawhi can only do so much. You
When he
know.
plays, when he decides to play, that's the problem.
Exactly.
That team, man.
So,
I mean,
and that goes for all of them, right? John Wall's gonna give you like a good solid 13 games, and then he's gonna be done.
but they're
You
deep.
know,
They're
they
deep.
are deep.
They're like 12 men deep, even more 15. Because you those other players, you're talking about what's that guy's name, the shooter that we like from was it from Kentucky? What was his name, man? He could shoot. They have a point guard, Preston, Jamie Preston, I think his name is. I like him too. You know, they got him in the second round, but they got also what was his name? Let me look it up.
With
Clippers.
Terrence Mann,
No, I like him too. No, the shooter, second round pick. I wanted the Knicks to pick him up.
let me see.
Brandon Boston.
Oh, okay.
And you're talking about this guy's not going to see any minutes at all. At all. Luke Kennard will not see minutes. I mean, I don't even know what their starting lineup is. It's probably Covington and Zubac with
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there, a lot of these guys are not going to see minutes, and they're going to see like 5 to 10 minutes.
they
It's going
needed
to
that.
really, it's
They
really going to
needed that.
hinge. You know,
But they need it because Kawhi and Paul George are so fragile. My estimate might be totally off if Kawhi and Paul George are hurt this year. I'm gonna bank that in the last this year coming up in the last 2 years combined, all 3 years, that they're gonna finally be healthy. I'm gonna bank on that. All right, let's go
we'll
to the
see.
next. Yeah, the hardest one for me was the most improved.
Who'd you got? I'm gonna let you answer first. You're gonna be like, "Oh my god, really?
I am a Knicks fan. I'm gonna go with RJ Barrett.
Wow."
I'm
I
gonna
thought
go.
about putting him too,
I'm
but
gonna go RJ Barrett. I'm gonna go
I don't
RJ
think he's
Barrett.
gonna make that much of a leap.
I think he's gonna have. That's why I didn't want to put him because I don't think his points per game are gonna rise that much more. But I think he's gonna score 24 to 25 with incredible efficiency compared to the last 2 years. I mean, the 2 years ago wasn't so bad when they made the playoffs. He was shooting 40, 41% 3-point shooter. But I think he's see big numbers. I think he's gonna become a star now. I think he might even be an all-star this year.
Yeah, I thought about RJ. I even thought about Randall too, just because he played so bad last year.
Imagine he won
But
it
the
every 2 years.
but the one but the one guy I put down was Ben Simmons.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
You know,
I can see
I
that.
think that they got a decent team now. That's they got a scary team.
Don't tell Joe.
With all the commotion, yeah, forget Joe. Um, with
You
all the
you
commotion
almost
that
brought
they
him
went
here.
through, I know he would have been like, "Yeah, Kenny."
Uh,
Um, yeah, I think it's going to be Ben Simmons. I think he's going to play well in that Nets team. Unfortunately,
gotcha.
but that's enough for most improved because I don't want to give any Nets player credits. Rookie of the year,
Okay.
we
I,
probably
I
have the same one.
I wrote down three. I thought I wrote down three. I guess I only have two. Um, but I'm gonna go with Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero.
Me too.
Over slightly over Keegan Murray. That's my second pick, but Paolo Banchero.
I think Keegan Murray's going to be sneaky good.
Yeah, man. I think people are sleeping on him.
You
You
know,
know, I think I would trade Randall in a first round for Keegan Murray.
I don't know about that, but
I like him, bro. I like him that much.
yeah, no,
You heard
I
it from
do.
me first.
I do like him a lot. You know, I was telling when the draft was going to happen. You and I agreed that Jaden Ivey was going to be that sleeper. You know, that everyone should have gotten first round. I think is Keegan Murray.
Mhm.
I think Keegan Murray should have went first overall. That kid is good, man.
Yeah,
He
he
can do
is.
it all.
He can do it all, and he can play defense.
Yeah,
Maybe not
yeah,
elite right now, and I don't know if he's ever going to be elite defender, but he can play
oh,
defense, and that's he can score with the best of them. He can shoot, and he's
yeah.
what 6'9", I think.
Think so. Yeah,
Yeah, he's man. King said they put their excuse my language, they put their balls on the table and they said, we're picking Keegan Murray. We don't care what people think. We know we're gonna get bad reviews for this, but I like that teams like that. They're like, you know what, we know we're making the right move here. You know, and the Knicks do that a lot at the end of the first round. We talked about this. IQ, right? We thought he was second round pick, ended up being first round. Worked out. Grimes, I thought it was second round pick. Again, picked him in the first round. You know, it was very ballsy sometimes when you pick ahead of the mock drafts and you get bad reviews for that. But you got to do the right thing. Listen to your guys. They know what they're doing. And I get we both agree Paolo then, right?
yeah, yeah. Just because he's gonna have the minutes, he's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot. You know, Keegan Murray's gonna have to compete with De'Aaron Fox. Right now, De'Aaron Fox is the man in that team.
All right, let's go to the
So
last one.
six man. Who do you got?
So I wrote down three names. I'll tell you which one I picked out of the three, but I'm gonna mention the three names. I have Jordan Poole, Malcolm Brogdon, and Tyler Hero.
I agree with Brogdon. Uh, I don't agree with Hero or Poole.
Okay.
I think Hero might even start, if anything.
Well, I'm just basing it off on how they always done it. For some reason, they just bring him off the bench
No, I know.
over this guy. I guess because they're paying him, Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
But
Um.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
I think your second one is a good pick. I didn't even think of Malcolm Brogdon, and I forgot that he's coming off the bench.
Yeah, they're gonna start him off the bench. Yeah.
I think Jordan Poole is, you know, too easy in my opinion. Um, I always got to go with a Nick somewhere in this
IQ,
category. I put IQ,
IQ,
baby.
IQ.
I put Emmanuel quickly. I think he's going to take that next step, and he's going to be a nice playmaker and a great guy to come off the bench playing next to Rose and
Let me ask you something.
Grimes.
We had this conversation not so long ago with Jose, and we were dictating the minutes of all the players. Based on your conversation, you're only giving IQ how many minutes a game?
I was giving him like 22 minutes a game.
I don't think that's enough to win six man.
I don't think it's enough, but I think he's going to be effective, right? I think he'll score 10 to 12 points or even more, you know, get like about 4 assists and things like that. Um, I don't know. I just see him as a six man.
Okay.
I
Listen,
think
if you're,
he's
if
going to
you're
be in the
telling me
conversation.
he's gonna get 28 minutes a game, he's gonna by the end of the season, I'm in. I think he will. I think he'll average what you said, 12 to 16 points a game with four assists, and a steal. I'm in. But until Thibodeau changes his ways with his starters playing 30 plus minutes a game, I don't see many minutes for him to happen. My pick out of those three that I mentioned before is Tyler Hero. I think it's a big payday. I think he wants a max. I don't think he's gonna get a max right now. I think he knows he doesn't deserve it. I think he is gonna go. You and I agree on this. When it's pay year,
Yeah,
they
contract year.
perform like Aaron Judge. They're all of a sudden healthy. They don't get hurt. They hit everything. It's crazy.
It's going to be Danny Dimes. He's going to hit
Eh,
every pass.
Man, if Danny Dimes hits every pass, man, that's then sums up.
Good.
So IQ's your pick then?
Yeah, IQ's my pick.
So Kenny, before we give this up, we got a minute left. Um, I want to congratulate first of all RJ Barrett. That's my boy, not yours or Jose's. You guys don't get to. You guys do not get to cheer for him. Uh, Tell me how you feel about that.
happy. Second signing since Mitchell Robinson, since Charlie Ward. Um, you know, definitely deserved. Just hoping that he takes that next step.
Agreed. He deserves the money, and they didn't give him the max, which is a huge deal to me because now you can trade for a max player if you want. You know that I just learned before with when Donovan Mitchell was a free agent. So listen, I'm glad he deserves it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut this loose, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, we will be here Friday, Yankees. We might have a special guest for you guys. We will not mention his name, but hopefully we can surprise you with him. He's a little bit out there, but guys, for now, just have a good night and thank you for joining us, Kenny.
Take care, guys. See you next time.